Now, the email-short Commission of Inquiry investigating the Asawase by-election violence today took testimonies from some victims of the chaos who were allegedly assaulted and arrested by the SWAT unit for various infractions. My colleague Eugenia Tonkran has more.
The first of the three victims to appear today was Hamidu Amadu, a branch chairman of the NDC in the Asawase North constituency. He told the commission that he went to the house of the NDC's parliamentary candidate to pick and deliver food for the party's polling agents when the hooded security men arrived. He denied the claim that they had earlier fired a shot from the MP's house, which attracted the national security operatives, as told the commission by Bright Ernest Akumia alias Double, who is a national security operative. Hamidu also discounted a claim by Double that the MP for Ningo Prampram, Sam George, incited the crowd against the security operatives when he prevented them from searching their vehicles. Hamidu said he was the one who prevented the search because the men did not have any search warrant. The second victim, Hudu Seidu, who described himself as a farmer, also said he was at the parliamentary candidate's house to supply soft drinks to polling agents. There was, however, some form of contradictions in the narration between his testimony at the commission and a statement he gave at the police station on what happened on that day.
Minority in Parliament wants the government to seek parliamentary approval for the special purpose vehicle, the Ghana Amalgamated Trust, that's GAT. The minority is making this demand at a time the government has presented a request to the House for a 2 billion cedi bond to be used by GAT for capitalizing some indigenous banks.
Now, the minority warned that they may withdraw support to the request if their demand is not met. There is more in this report.
Government last Tuesday laid in the House a request for a 2 billion cedi sovereign guarantee for use by the Ghana Amalgamated Trust, GAT, to capitalize some indigenous banks. The request is being considered currently by the Finance Committee of the House, but the minority is raising some fundamental issues with the arrangement. Here is Deputy Minority Leader James Kluche Aveji.
The GAT is alien to Parliament. We don't know what is GAT. Is it a company established by who? Parliament knows nothing about that. So why do you introduce a company that is alien to Parliament for Parliament to work for us to give a guarantee, a sovereign guarantee for that company to go and borrow? So that's the first legal thing need to be clarified, is that what is that company?
To some other stories, and 7 associations, including the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association, today embarked on a demonstration to kick against the luxury vehicle levy. Members of the associations presented a petition to the Ministry of Finance, Parliament and the Presidency. They are seeking a reversal of the levy, which was imposed on vehicles with engine capacity above 3.0 litres. They have vowed to embark on a nationwide protest after 2 weeks of no positive response. There's more in this report.
The demonstration was in protest of what they describe as unnecessary financial burden imposed on them by government. Made up of 7 different associations, including the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association, the demonstrators marched from the Kwame Nkrumah Avenue through to the Castle Road and presented a petition to the Ministry of Finance. They showcased some of the vehicles they believe have been unfairly affected by the levy. From the Ministry of Finance, copies of the petition were presented to Parliament and the Presidency for repeal of the act establishing the levy. General Secretary of the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association, Nana Owusu-Duodu, says the protest was triggered by government's lack of concern to their plea. According to him, the levy is heavily impacting their businesses.
It has cost us very massively.
Meanwhile, President of the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association is threatening a nationwide demonstration together with a lawsuit if government fails to meet their demands within 2 weeks.
We decided from here, within 2 weeks' time, no any response or tangible reasons for this demonstration. We demonstrate in Kumasi. From Kumasi, then we'll move Takrady. Then finally, no results, we'll go to court.
Now, the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana, MOAG, has called off its nationwide strike. The decision was taken this morning after the leadership of the group met with the National Labour Commission. Nia Mama was there for City News.
The strike, which began on Tuesday, saw several bereaved families stranded at various mortuaries across the country as they could not retrieve their dead for burial or deposit new ones. At the Fiankwanta Regional Hospital in Sekendi Takoradi, for instance, authorities did not know how to convey bodies from the wards to the morgue. But after 2.5 days of the action, the mortuary workers have decided that it is time to call it off.
The commission invited us. We've had a comprehensive meeting. The issues are that the strike is called off for now.
Prior to today, the mortuary workers maintained that the strike was justified because there had not been any improvement after years of working under poor conditions. With monthly salaries reaching as low as 300 cedis, no entitlement to a leave of absence or healthcare benefits, the people who did the job everyone else would quickly turn down said they had had enough. But since embarking on the strike, the group says the swift action from the National Labour Commission and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has assured them that the government is committed to addressing their grievances. Meanwhile, the National Labour Commission has hinted that it is making strides towards addressing the concerns of the mortuary workers. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Ofusua Samoa, says the negotiations will begin next week.
Now, families of the 7 young men who were killed by police officers at Manso Nkwanta in the Ashanti region are calling on the government to speed up the processes that will lead to the prosecution of police officers found culpable in the shooting incident.
Now, the families say although they are grateful to government for the payment of compensation, they want justice for their lost relatives. City News' Hafiz Tijani has more.
Relatives of Mohamed Kamal, Musa Seidu, Babun Farah, Mohamed Ibrahim Musa, Razak Sule, Oliver Kolang, and Abdelhanan Bashir each received a check of 250,000 Ghana cedis. The killing of the 7 young men by police sparked violent protests within the Asawase community when the residents insisted that the deceased persons were not robbers. President Akufo-Addo later announced a compensation package to be given to the bereaved families while investigations into the matter continue. The Zongo and Inner Cities Development Minister Mustafa Hamid, who presented the checks, says the donation was in fulfillment of the president's promise he made to the families early this year. Families of the 7 young men thanked the government for fulfilling its promise but insisted that the officers found guilty of the deaths must be prosecuted.